Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. In a hearing before Judge Eddie Northcutt in 8th Judicial District Court Monday morning, Bradley Curtis Cougar, age 41, is on trial for one count of a January 2010 aggravated sexual assault of a child under 6 years of age, a felony 1, a June 2009 sexual performance by a child under 14 years of age, a felony 1, a May 2009 indecency with a child's sexual contact, a felony 2, and a July 2009 attempted sexual performance by a child, a felony 2. During the hearing, the children involved in the incident and family members are being called as witnesses by District Attorney Will Ramsey. Hopkins County law enforcement had been seeking Cougar, who was wanted locally for the aggravated sexual assault of the child under 6 years of age. The search had been ongoing for some time. Kentucky law enforcement had also been assisting in the search. Cougar was living in Kentucky at the time. When Cougar turned himself in, October 2017, local law enforcement were able to continue their investigation. An employee of the SPCA of Texas testified Monday morning in Hopkins County Court at Law that during his investigation, he observed cattle owned by George Bergen of Sulphur Springs on more than one location, and each location and the animals there looked the same. Testimony continues in the appeal of a settlement made in Justice of the Peace Court regarding the custody of several head of cattle owned by Bergen. The appeal is being heard in Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 courtroom by Judge Amy McCorkle Smith, Hopkins County Court at Law judge. The cattle were seized by the Hopkins County Sheriff's deputies and the SPCA of Texas when they were found on 2,700 acres of land in Hopkins County and said to be malnourished. The appeal is conducted before a jury and is expected to continue through Wednesday. Bergen nor his attorney were present for the trial. The representative of the SPCA stated that it was hard to know that hay had been fed to the cattle. He stated that at each location approximately 2 rolls of hay had been used to feed the cattle, and that he had to excite the cattle more than once to try to make them stand. He stated that at each location the cattle looked bony and malnourished. Bergen and his attorney, Chad Cable, filed 3 motions with the court on Friday. The motion stated that Bergen would not be present for the appeal because he and his attorney say the appeal should be heard in federal court. He stated the county court at law has no authority. According to Justice of the Peace B.J. Tier, the appeal was filed in county court at law based on the process presented in Texas law. Bergen also questions the Texas Health and Safety Code having precedence over Texas rules of civil procedure. The malnourished cattle were seized December 4th through 6, 2017 by Hopkins County law enforcement and the SPCA of Texas. Bergen, age 61 of Sulphur Springs, is also charged with cruelty to livestock, failure to provide a state jail felony. The settlement and the appeal of the custody of the cattle will not affect the state jail felony criminal charges against Bergen. In a 3-2 vote, Hopkins County commissioners tabled 2 agenda items that would have allowed the start of building a new 100-seat courtroom attached to the Hopkins County Jail. Although the money is available, commissioners questioned the cost of the building, saying that building one building versus any savings that would come from building both the courtroom and offices for the district attorney and county court at law, the district attorney and the district clerk offices should be considered. The commissioners went out for bids for the purchase of 110 and 118 Main Street that currently house the attorney and clerk offices. However, no bids were received. They had set the low bid at $400,000. Commissioners Mickey Barker and County Judge Robert Newsom voted against tabling the motion based on their desire to begin the building. Commissioners also voted to table the purchase of new voting machines. For some time, Debbie Shirley, county clerk, has wanted to improve the voting equipment in the county. With several payment options offered, the new county clerk coming into office after the first of the year, and newer machines easier to learn, also the new machines considered more accurate, Shirley presented her plea for the new machines. Much of the current system used was purchased in 2005, and technology has changed in the voting field over the years. Commissioner Mike O'Dell stated he thinks the new machines are too expensive. Only 2 companies in Texas are approved by the Secretary of State to sell the machines. The proposal was presented, including a discount in price and extra year of maintenance by the company presenting the offer. The machines and offer have been approved for the county by the Secretary of State's office last week. Shirley expressed concern regarding the current voting equipment for the March 6th primary election weeks away. The county auditor told the court that there was enough money in the balance fund to pay for new machines and that other options were also available. In an email received this afternoon, Hopkins County Commissioners will revisit the item regarding the new voting machines in a session on Friday, January 12th. Here's Don Julian with sports.
The Wildcat soccer team opened the regular season with 2 wins and 3 losses in a good Forney tournament last week. Overall, Wildcat soccer coach Nicky Wiggins was pleased with how his team played.
Normally when we go there, we always look to split, because it's some tough competitions, a lot of games early, to try to get our legs back under us for this next weekend.
Let's talk about some of the games on Thursday. Had a couple of tough 5As that we might see in by district.
Yes, sir. West Mesquite, they were really organized. They played very well against us, and that was our first game. And we just kind of had some jitters and just trying to figure some stuff out. And then Forney played well against us. And like I said, that Thursday was kind of rough for us. We kind of regrouped on Friday after watching some film and just kind of came back with 2 wins against Roy City and Amarillo. So we struggled a little bit early, but then we kind of found our groove. And then Saturday against Longview, we actually gave them all they wanted. We have a little goal went in right before halftime. It was a throw in. It just kind of bounced in. It was a mistake that cost us. But then their other 2 goals came late in the game when we were kind of stretched out. But I like the way we played. We just need to. We're creating some opportunities, but we just need to get a little more sound on the final third.
So all in all, you were pretty pleased with what you saw, based on so early.
Oh yes, sir. Like I told the kids, it's the early part of the year that does count, but doesn't count when it goes to district, and all these things that we're trying to figure out and improve on to get to district. So a quality tournament like that, you do get exposed, and you want to get exposed if you're not solid, and so that's some stuff we can clean up.
Now we're going all the way to Austin for a UT Austin tournament. What kind of competition will you face there?
Oh, there's 5 and 6As, mainly from the Region 3 Houston area, Humble, Pflugerville, some other schools I hadn't heard about, but I know they're in the Humble, Kingwood ISD, and so I think it's going to be a good tournament. It's the first one they had, and we couldn't get the Rockwall tournament that we usually go to the second tournament weekend. They didn't have a tournament, so I just had to scrounge around and got okay, and I think it's a good opportunity. It'd be a fun trip for us.
Usually a lot of those Houston schools, of course, it depends school by school, but some of them can really play.
Oh yes, sir. That region, that Houston area is a lot like the Frisco, Dallas area. They take pride in their soccer, and I think it's going to be a fun opportunity for us.
The Lady Cats soccer team won 4 and lost 1 in a Terrell tournament last week, only losing in the tournament final to Richardson, a Class 6A team. Lady Cats soccer coach Joel Bailey likes the way his team has started the season.
Very impressed with how the girls are playing right now. Fell a little short in the final game, but hey, we earned the right to be there. Obviously, Richardson earned the right to be there, and they had to earn the victory. And second place is something admirable against a very strong Richardson team.
Even jumped out ahead on them, and then they kind of came back.
Yeah, they did. We scored early in the game and had an injury to a key player and had to make some adjustments, and it just kind of unraveled from there, and not in a bad way. It's just they were a very talented team, so hats off to them. They were good. All credit to them.
Now, the girls just overall, all through the tournament, seemed to control the ball and make a lot of goals. They were really putting them in the net.
Absolutely. We're scoring at will almost. Some of the competition that we played weren't, as good as us, and I want to be humble about the whole situation, but, we are scoring goals, and that's what generates wins in the possession. That's where it all starts. Possession's going great. We played 5 games and scored 21 goals. So that's a staggering stat, and they're playing with confidence, and it's fun to watch. It's even, all credit to them.
And to give coaches nightmares that are trying to prepare for you, you had so many different scores that there's nobody really that they can focus on.
Correct. It's not just one is contributing. It's, we're spreading it out. I think we've got Gracie's got 5 goals. I think McKenna's got 4. I think Melina's got 4, possibly 3. Haley Robinson's got 3. Taylor Robinson's got 3, somewhere in there, and some other players are scoring goals as well. So it makes headaches for the other team that if one's kind of having an off day, I've got 3 or 4 more that can still put it in the back of the net easily. So it's good for us. Hopefully moving forward we can continue that trend.
Next up now, a Paris tournament. Tell us about that one.
Correct. Go to Paris this week for another tournament. We've been obviously successful there. Hopefully we can three-peat that tournament again. I think the girls are highly motivated. It is a smaller tournament with some smaller schools, and we're probably the biggest school that will be there. There might be another one there on the other side of the pool, but we should do well. I don't want to be overconfident, but a three-peat is definitely in our grasp.
The Saltillo Lions lost and the Saltillo Lady Lions won in varsity action against Yantis on Friday. The Lions were defeated 53-43 by the Owls. The Lions led after the first quarter 12-10, but fell behind at halftime 26-24, and Yantis led after 3 quarters 34-31. The Owls had a big fourth quarter to put the game away. For the Lions, Chris Bokhorst and Trevor Moore both scored 11 points. Matthew Gurley had 9 points. Walker McGill had 6 points. Branson McGill, Levi Hoover, and Lyle Bench each scored 2 points. The Lions' season record is now 14-12, and they will play Wolf City on Tuesday. The Saltillo Lady Lions took a 50-27 win against Yantis. The Lady Lions got off to a good start, leading 18-4 after the first quarter. They led 30-17 at the half and 42-25 after 3 quarters. For the Lady Lions, Jocelyn Ochoa led the way with 13 points, and Tori Mobley scored 12. Maddie Smith had 7 points. Madison Simmons scored 6 points. Chandler Bain added 4 points, and Jordan Sester, Anna Reeder, Christy Gurley, and Shelby Matlock each scored 2 points. The Lady Lions improved their season record to 10-15. The Lady Lions will be playing at Sulphur Bluff on Tuesday.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.